And welcome back. My name's Alan, and let's continue to talk about the eye conditions and what's going on internally. So everyone has a dominant hand, and the dominant hand represents the way you see the outside world. The less dominant hand, so I'm right-handed, that's the way I see the outside world, and the other hand is how I internalize things. So your eyes do the same thing. When it is seeing something on the outside, that's the way it sees the world or wants to see the world. But if that eye is shifting around, is there a problem internally or externally? I did write notes because I'm not explaining it very well. So one eye may wander out or in, and therefore causes poor vision. In this case, the dominant hand represents the outside world and the other is internal. The lazy eye is what is hard for you to look at and wants to look away. So if you have an internal problem, the eye that is shifting is either the problem inside or outside. And we could do some tapping for that. So let's just go ahead and do the tapping. Even though I feel frustrated by my lazy eye and the vision that it causes, the distortion, the blurriness, I choose to accept myself and where my vision is for myself right now. Even though I'm frustrated by my lazy eye, I choose to release the feeling, the frustration. Even though I hate the way I look as my eye wanders around and people are looking at me trying to make eye contact, and yet the eye is all over the place, it's okay. I'm okay. And I fully and completely love and accept myself. And then you just start tapping, and you say, I feel frustrated. I feel irritated by this condition, by this lazy eye. I really don't like the blurry vision, but I'm going to let it go. I choose to let it go. I accept where I am. I accept where my vision is right now. It is what it is, and that's okay. The feeling of strain from forcing my lazy eye to focus is tiring. I'm always feeling tired because I'm tired of focusing. But I'm going to tap for relaxation in both eyes. I love both eyes equally. I love both my internal and external vision of the world. They both make sense to me. And I'm choosing to bring them into consensus as one. So for right now, it is what it is, but it could be temporary. Nothing has to be permanent. Letting go of that lazy eye thing now. Just letting it go more and more in all ways. And as I let go of all the fears, anxieties about how my eyes should be working or not, I'm going to let go of all the fears, of all the anxieties. Maybe it's going to get worse. Maybe it's going to get better, but I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to create stories to justify how I feel. It is what it is. I have a lazy eye. I'm going to let that go. And I know it's something that happened. Maybe that part of me that doesn't want to see what's going on outside, or that part of me that doesn't want to be honest with myself, that inside part. I'm going to let it go. Let it all go for right now. Just let it go. Anyways, I need to let it go. And as we keep moving forward, releasing all fears, all anxieties, all possible things, what would the doctor say? I wonder if he's going to cut out that lazy eye so that I don't have it anymore. I need to let that go. I tap away any resistance to strengthening my lazy eye. I also tap away any resistance from doing the muscle toning exercises that is in this program. Because as I resist, as I get lazy, as I get as lazy as my eye, maybe the treadmill is downstairs and I'm just not going to look at it. That would be a good example of allowing the eye to go somewhere else. I'm going to strengthen that connection to my lazy eye. I'm going to ask all parts of my being, the right brain, the left brain, any other part of my body, to work together as one for my highest good. I know it's a thought. I know it's a feeling. I know it's resistance. I can let it go. And deep down inside, I could trust my brain, my mind, to make those shifts that need to be made. Deep down inside, I could trust that part of me that needed to be nurtured, acknowledged, loved, is actually working in concert with the rest of me. My mind is always doing what is best for me in all ways. And it's okay. It's just a lazy eye. There we go. So I'm going to let it go. Just let it go. There's no reason I need to have a lazy eye. There's no need to have that distortion in vision, that tiredness, that bad feeling. It's going. I can't really measure it right away because it'll take a little while for things to come into balance, and sometimes it's really fast. I wonder where that lazy eye learned to be lazy. Maybe I'm lazy in some other ways, but I'm going to let that go. I already said I'm going to let go of all judgment, all labels. I'm letting it go now. Just letting it go. And as you take a deep breath, let me see some more statements. So that part of me that feels disconnected, I don't know why it feels disconnected to the rest of me, but I know I have 150 personalities inside my mind. There's a part that's unhappy. And maybe if I could tell it that it's okay, maybe if I could hear the message, I could resolve it right now. But I'm just going to ask that part of me to give me an understanding of what I could do, how I could support it so that I could feel supported, happy, and connected to the rest of me, so that we could work all together as one, as a person known as me, as Alan, or whatever your name is. I forgive myself for letting my eye get to this point, because if I knew that my thoughts were associated with my eye, if I knew what I could do about it, I would have done it already, because I don't like to have a lazy eye. So I'm going to forgive myself for the way my eye is moving, for the way I see the world, for the way that I feel about my eye, for my perception of the world, internal and external perceptions. I forgive myself in all ways. And I ask God to forgive me, and I ask anybody else who hurt me. I forgive them as well. And I ask for their forgiveness for anything I might have done to them. For forgiveness is powerful. I'm going to let go now of that lazy eye feeling. I'm just going to let it go. It's no longer serving me. It's no longer serving me. I'm not going to call it a lazy eye anymore. It's no longer serving me. And I forgive myself for judging myself. I am worthy of having good vision. I'm worthy of having good sight. I am worthy and deserve to enjoy everything around me. I enjoy beautiful, vibrant colors on my t-shirt, around me. I love to see fully and completely. I deserve to see well, clearly, effortlessly. And there's so many beautiful things. I don't want to be lazy about seeing beauty, joy, love, fun, excitement. I feel pretty good already, but I'm just going to choose to change those things that no longer serve. I, I am totally worthy of experiencing a wonderful life with good, healthy vision. I deserve to see clearly, balanced, things totally imbalanced in all ways. And maybe, just maybe, I deserve the strength, the ability to change, to allow perfect vision to happen naturally, also with some therapy, maybe a vision coach. For there's many, many ways to get my sight back, improving it in all ways. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready to experience a world, a balanced world with what I perceive on the inside and what's going on with the outside, being in balance so I could understand and allow it to fit my model of reality in the best and most beneficial way for me. I choose to focus on the positive about myself and as well as for all other people. For the more positive I see things, the more balanced they become. And law of attraction will allow me to see the best inside and outside. And with practice, I know that both eyes could be working together as one, as a team. Just like a basketball team, when it first comes together, nobody knows what the other person will do. They trip over each other, they kind of run into each other, they miss the basket, the ball just wasn't in the right place. But after a while, we could train basketball players to play as a team. The same way I'm now training my eyes to be a team, working together, moving together, loving together, sharing together in all ways. That feels good, doesn't it? Anyways, take a deep breath, get a glass of water if you want to. Spray your eyes with water, put a hot, wet towel on it. Just blink a few times and love your eyes as much as you can. Always remember, if you want, you could palm your hands and just without pressing on your eyes, just palm them so that they cover your eyes and tell your eyes, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you on this next segment. So, hi, I'm back. This next issue is called strabism. It's when one of the eyes goes inwards. And generally, people who have that are experiencing some kind of shame or guilt. So when they experience that, it causes one of the eyes to move in. It's the same thing as it's called cross-eyed as well. And as we address shame and guilt, again, going through your timeline, if you could identify those things that you did, that you said, that made you feel guilty. And unfortunately, some people are born in homes where shame is natural. You are shamed about everything. You are shamed because you're a boy. You're shamed because you're a girl. You're shamed because you're too short, or because you stuttered. You're told that you're not perfect. So people have very strong shame and guilt issues. will probably have some of this condition, but even that could be released through tapping, through hypnosis. So let's do a tapping round for strabism or cross-eyed situations. And you start by tapping over here. Even though I feel really self-conscious about being cross-eyed, I fully and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel so much shame and guilt, which is at the emotional root of having this issue. And I remember that incident, whatever it is for you, I'm going to let it go. The past is the past. I did what I did. And maybe I could do something to release the shame or guilt, and maybe I can't. But I'm asking God, I'm asking my team and my angels, my guardians, my spirit guides to please help me to release any and all shame, guilt, fear, or whatever else is creating that emotion and that situation. I release any belief that my eye misalignment is punishment for something that I did or didn't do as a child or earlier in my life, even in a past life. I choose to be self-compassionate. I choose to release that heaviness that I've been carrying for so long and that's stuck in my eyes, that trapped emotion of shame and guilt. And I know that trapped emotions could be inherited from my grandfather, from my grandmother, from my great grandmother. It could go back 20, 30 generations because I inherited the color of my hair when I had some from my parents. I inherited the color of my eyes, the color of my skin, but I also inherited their emotions. So I'm letting go of all the shame and guilt. I may not even know where it's from, but I'm letting it go. I have to let it go. All that shame and guilt being released from every level of my being as I become more and more compassionate towards a complete and total release. Deep down inside, I am worthy of love and acceptance, regardless of how my eyes move, regardless of how they align. For as much as I try to control the misalignment, there's not enough hours in a day to do that and do everything else. So I fully and completely love and accept myself as I allow my eyes to heal. And I tap away any feelings of disconnection from my parents or anybody else due to this connection, due to this condition, I should say. Because some of us were brought up by grandparents. Some of us were brought up in foster homes, were pushed off to nursery to be looked after by a caretaker. Some of those people were not the best for me, but because of them, I have a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that go. It's not punishment. I released my parents. And that part of me that might feel like a burden because of my eyes, there's nothing I could do about that. It's just okay. It's okay to be who I am. But I also tap for the best and most optimal health for my eyes, for the strength, to allow the muscles to move properly, to realign. For as I focus and visualize perfect alignment, even by closing my eyes and imagining on a blackboard in front of me one line, kind of line they do in art class, where there's a central axis, vertical, horizontal axis, and as they draw the face, the eyes are on the same line, at the same height, same position. I could see it now, I could feel it. And that's how I want my eyes to respond. I forgive myself and my parents for any past conflicts or even judgments. We all did the best we could, even though at times it didn't feel like it. We all tried to do the best we could, or so I thought. But it's only a trapped emotion. And as the muscles in my eyes get stronger from the exercises I do, that I'm going to do from this point on, they will realign. I'm confident about that. I know that to be a fact. It's happened for a lot of people. And I choose not to be the exception. I want it to happen to me also. I'm willing it. I'm allowing it now. It's going to happen. I know for a fact it is. I tap for the courage to express my needs and feelings openly and honestly. I'm done being shy, guilty, shameful. I'm worthy of having healthy eyes and clear vision. And I trust my body's ability to heal as well. I choose to focus on the love and support I have in my life. And I release any shame or guilt that's holding me back. Take a deep breath, everyone, and just focus in on what I said. If you notice any shame, any guilt about anything in your life, whether your eyes are cross-eyed or not, release it. Just make a note. Keep on tapping on that shame, that specific thing, until the shame seems to go down in intensity. In tapping, one thing that we do is sometimes we measure from 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. We want to measure the intensity. So if there's pain in the body, which is really easy to measure, there's pain in my shoulder. How strong is the pain? 0 to 10. 10 is very strong. It's like, oh, I can't even move it. Oh my God, it's killing me. I need to go to the hospital. And 0, it's gone. So as we tap this pain, this pain, this pain, we could come back and measure the intensity of pain with a bit of guilt. Let's say you stole bubble gum when you were 3 years old, 4 years old, and you still remember getting caught. Your mom punished you. And you think about that and how bad you feel. Well, about 5. So you tap the shame of getting caught, the guilt that I was a bad person. I thought I was a bad person. I can't believe that she whipped me with a belt when I got home, because that's what they used to do back then. And keep on tapping, tap on all the points until you check again. You think about that issue and you say, well, the shame is down to 0. It's 1, 0. You could bring it all the way down to 0. I encourage it, because there's no reason why you should ever walk around with shame and guilt of what happened 30, 40, 50 years ago. So that would be for the issue of being cross-eyed. And I'm going to pause the video, blink my eyes a whole bunch of times, take off my glasses, go get the other pair of glasses again to not overstrain my eyes or look in a spot, since there's a lot of recording that's going on today. And yeah, I will see you back in just a few minutes.